So I just watched a video entitled On Being Ugly by YouTuber Kara Kamo. Sorry if I said that wrong. Now in that video she says that she thinks that she's ugly, but she's okay with that. And she goes on to explain that being pretty or ugly kind of doesn't matter and it isn't really that big of an accomplishment. And she mentions that it's not a big deal because we're all naturally beautiful and amazing, which is something that I've talked about recently. In general, I agree with most of the things that she says in the video, so this isn't really me debating her. The scope of her video is far wider than the scope of this video. She just sparked an idea in my head, so I thought I'd talk about it. Now this may be a personal bias or something, but it never sounds right to me when people refer to other people, or especially themselves, as ugly. The word ugly is negative. It means something is displeasing to look at. In her video she compares being ugly to being fat, and the word fat is kind of subjective depending on how it's used, but I do think it's more objective than the word ugly, which I think is more of a judgmental term. Now I may feel this way because I am genuinely conscious of the apparent beauty of the human race in general, and that may affect how I perceive people visually, but I don't think Kara is ugly. In fact, I can't remember the last time I saw anyone that I thought was ugly. Some people are more hot than others, some people are more fashionable than others, some people might be kind of strange looking, but ugly? I don't know about that. It's just kind of a strong word. Like I use the word ugly to describe fictional evil witches, or if someone's like intentionally making an ugly face. But a person being ugly in general, I don't know if it's possible. Because how pretty someone is a little bit subjective, which is why it's a little bit frustrating when some girls are like, I don't think I'm pretty, so don't call me pretty because I'm not pretty. Well, fuck you, I have an opinion too. But also B, I think human beings and also living things in general have achieved sort of a baseline of physical beauty, especially female humans. Women tend to be less hairy, softer, curvier, cuddlier, etc. Now obviously everyone was born with a different set of attributes, but I think that these kinds of things are inherently standard for the biological purpose of making women appear suitable for mating, and as such are objectively beautiful. But it's not just biology. Curvy, soft, adorable things are generally preferable to jagged, rough things in most cases, and I think that's natural. Look at these two squares here. Which one do you think is more visually appealing? I think that the vast majority of you would agree that the one on the right is, and I think that's because there are some things that are more objectively beautiful than other things. And I think nature is really good at producing these things. But I hear people use the word ugly to describe other people all the time, and maybe some people think that human beings are ugly sometimes, or maybe they're just substituting the term ugly for less sexy. But I guess that I'm compelled to talk about this because there are an unusual number of beautiful women who think that they're ugly. Kara says that she's developed ways to deal with the fact that she's ugly, which implies that it's something that she has to deal with, or something that, if not for her coping mechanisms, would be a problem. And that sounds like a problem in and of itself to me, mainly because she's not ugly, and you probably aren't ugly either. So I guess it's a bit frustrating, for me at least, when the belief in something that is more or less false is affecting the way that you live your life. But I don't want to speak as if I know how she lives her life based on a 7-minute video. I'm just saying. Now I suppose how pretty or ugly one is not important as long as you're happy and kind and helpful. But I just happen to think that life is a bit easier and more fun if looking in the mirror makes you smile. That's just me though. What should the next video be about? Drop a comment. I want to give a shout out to all the new subscribers. How you doing? Click here or check the description to watch On Being Ugly. Please press the like button. Subscribe if you like my hair. Holla.